It's been 3 years, 5 months, and 29 days since intercontinental warfare took place on European soil. But yet again, we're back. It's the third iteration of the poLANd.tf Invitational. We have the reigning champions here, Witness Gaming, on a 6 LAN win streak, looking to retain the crown. Will America's finest be able to compete? Will they be able to snatch it off of their heads? Or maybe DM, the Premiership winners, might be able to compete as well. Or shall we even consider the team with the fanciest of elves? We have 3 days of competition, 60 matches, 16 teams, 1 winner. You're not going to want to miss this. Welcome to poLANd.
Welcome to poLANd. We're here in Łódź for the 3rd annual international poLANd.tf competition, and this time we've even gone intercontinental because we've got 2 American teams coming to join us. Before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's introduce myself. I'm Bempler, joined by Cerny and Demul on the desk.
Hello. How are you doing, Ben? Hope you're having a good time so far in Poland. You excited for LAN?
Absolutely, always am. Always a pleasure to be here, and it's been good travels in base stack. We've got ourselves set up. And we're ready for the first day of action. I think the teams are still sorting themselves out currently. But Demul, I think it's your is this your first time on the couch?
It is indeed. It is a pleasure to be with you guys.
Yeah, no, it's good to have you on board. Have you how have you found Poland so far? How have you found your time in base stack?
Well, it's interesting. I think it's better than last year so far. No, they put up the work.
Yeah, no, great stuff. So we have 14 teams, as I alluded to, up coming to Poland this year. We've got 12 of them are from Europe, and we've got 2 coming over from North America, which was absolutely ridiculous news when that came out. It was kind of put this event on like a whole new level, I'd say, right? Would you agree?
I did agree, but it's still missing an important team, sadly. We won't talk about it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Are we when we So Cerny, when we're looking at this, we'll pull up the groups in a moment. But like coming into this LAN, are there any people that you're sort of like excited to see, excited to meet, maybe excited to sort of hang out with?
I mean, the big elephant in the room that everybody's going to address is obviously Fancy Elf showing up to LAN for the first time ever after dodging for years suspiciously. Everybody always questioning his choice of not showing up. Finally showing up to LAN with his Mandem squad, a team that has a realistic chance of making a pretty deep run into the tournament, obviously. Winning, we'll have to see. They looked a bit shaky last week in the ETF2L playoffs, so we'll have to see how much they adjust to LAN, right, if they get a LAN buff or not. But that's obviously an exciting player to see on offline, to see how he does.
Yeah, I see some funny faces from Demul. You sound like you've got some opinions.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't prove themselves at the ETF2 Grand Final, for example. Even at the upper bracket, Dirty Maggots, or DM, sorry. DM just crushed them, literally. So it is interesting. Mandem were clearly the favorites in ETF2L. Now they have to prove themselves.
Yeah, well, I think we are we ready with to get some groups up, and we can sort of see who's in. We'll explain the format. We've got 14 teams travelling here to Łódź. We've got 7 in Group A, 7 in Group B, and on your screen you can see all of those 14 teams. the dashed line, if you finish above that after today, that means you go straight into the upper bracket in our double elimination system. If you're between the dashed line and the solid line, you go into the lower bracket. And if you finish below the bottom line, you're unfortunately out, and you will have to enjoy the B tournament, which are going to take place later on Saturday. But it's interesting one. Sometimes like the day one of these lands, it kind of it normally just is for seeding, but here like there is like genuine threats if you might end up in that lower bracket straight away. So I feel it kind of ups the stakes. Would you agree?
Definitely. Like now, it's really important to win the groups. Now it's really good. It literally gift you a spot in the top 4.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've obviously we've got plenty of games today. We're going to play 7 rounds of matches. Well, there'll actually be 8 on stream because we've even decided to split the middle round up in half so we can do an extra round of games because we know how much you all love the TF2 content at home, so we want to get as much of that going as possible. But I think our game, we're first going to be starting over in Group A. We're going to be seeing Aragosting, Hazard, and Joey GUNZ. So, I got a hum from Cerny. Are you excited for this one?
I mean, it could be interesting. Obviously, Joey GUNZ coming with their ETF12 roster, even if they didn't make playoffs, because the season was quite competitive. It's a strong team. It's a strong team, the Yak team. I mean, we're probably going to be able to have it on screen as well, potentially at least. I think we have graphics for that, maybe. I don't know. But like, it's a strong team, right? They have shenanigans. I think the only upsetting team about this team is that we are robbed of seeing Banny having to play against Varnu because he didn't show up to LAN. That would have been very fun to see. But, you know, obviously they are playing with a bit of a handicap, right? They don't have their actual medic they want for day one. Piggles isn't here yet, so they have to play with Alba on medic as a replacement, which is fine enough. I think Alba's capable enough, probably. And even though seeding matters for today, I don't see this team being the one that struggles too much, regardless of who their medic is. So I think they're going to have a pretty easy run overall. On the other side, Aragosting Hazard, I mean, it's a LAN team. Maybe. We'll see. Wait, any opinions, Demol?
I don't have any opinions on this team, so let's be honest. I think Joey's GUNZ should beat Aragosta. But yeah, they're missing their medic, which is Dewey. Let's be honest. Alba is a side grade at this point.
Yeah, missing Warped as well.
Yeah, but they played with Alba the whole season.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, they had to swap, yeah.
Yeah, like, but Dewey was their medic. Let's be honest, Alba is as good.
Yeah.
But Piggles coming in a few hours actually.
I heard he's boarded the plane because I got a message from Rook. They've met up at the airport. Piggles is on the flight, so we will hopefully, all going well, Piggles is going to be here. Might even catch the last round of today, to be quite honest.
He's supposed to play, as far as I know, Alba is supposed to play the first 3-4 maps.
Yeah.
So Piggles should be here by the end. I don't know if they are playing the toughest opponents right after. Piggles is going to be definitely a big upgrade. It's going to be good with Piggles. I think this team is going to be interesting as soon as Piggles shows up.
Yeah, it's interesting with Piggles because obviously like he is already one of the best medics in the world, but he is such a presence at LAN. Like it's the main thing people think of when they think of Piggles. They think of the energy and there's the charisma, right? Like he lives for LAN. And I just think having a player like that on your roster, like, is just such a buff. He's just such a level head, gonna make sure everyone locks in, make sure everyone keeps happy. There's no tilting or anything on Piggles' watch. And yeah, I think you're right. I think Piggles he's gonna be huge when he can come back.
Yeah, he's the vibe king.
Yeah. Absolutely. And also, like you said, I want to sort of allude to they have kind of reformed the Venom Crest team. I think to some extent they're obviously missing a couple of key pieces. I think missing KN is maybe quite a big issue because KM was, I'd argue, the strongest player on that team. Yeah, there's
He did just win Prem, technically, so he is a strong, capable soldier for the most part. Aleph is still solid. He's a solid replacement, obviously. Like, as far as soldier replacements go that were free agents, so to say, it's pretty good choice. And then, I mean, yeah, they lost Eon on Medic, who's found a new home. He's happy with where he is now, which is fine. So, I mean, yeah, obviously Piggles, I would argue, still an upgrade over that. It made the season a bit shaky for them, right? They had Dowie on med, and according to his own accounts, most of the time the team didn't even agree with him when he said anything, but, you know, he's under the impression that 80% of the time he's right about everything. So, I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, you know, so they had some roster switch ups, but I think the core is there. The core of what made that team special with the Yak strategy, main calling, whatever, and then the Varnu playing 5 different classes in one map type of stuff. I think that was like the core of that team, and that still remains, and that's the important part, I think.
Yeah, I want to say the Venom Crest team that obviously kind of was around before this, obviously lost Kane Leon. They finished 4th a year ago here in Wooch. Like, are we expecting they're going to get anywhere near that this year? Or we think, because there's obviously stronger opponent, there's plenty of other teams coming in. Like, what do you both think like a realistic goal for this team is coming into this LAN?
I think, I don't remember if I asked one of them, but I think their goal probably is at least repeating that, getting 4th. I think if they're thinking about it, they're like, okay, we can probably snag 4th place, but it's not going to be as easy as it was last year. I think the level of competition is a lot higher this time around. I mean, you've got Witness Mandem, obviously. They're going to be struggling against those. DM are looking pretty solid. And then, like, yeah, White Lotus are a strong American team. Fjord Gaming is a bit of a toss-up, but if they show up and if they play well, that's another one that could easily like put the fight up against them as well. So I think they're going to have to work for it a lot harder this time around if they want to make 4th.
Demul, you actually knocked them out last time around on the in that lower bracket semi-final. What do you think about Joey GUNZ's chances this year?
I do think their goal of being 4th is manageable. For me, they're like a mid-table team, but they have that dark horse capacity. Like they could. I know some teams struggle against them. Like they have a tough matchup against them, especially on certain maps. Like they could bring a perma sniper. I don't think. Yeah, like 4th place is good, but you were talking about the second American teams. I don't see them getting 4th though. Okay. I don't see them reaching the top 6. Top 6 would be an upset because there's the Mac team, there's the Yak team. Nah, there's too many teams that I don't see them. Like there's only one big American team, which is White Lotus.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you say, though, the Joey GUNZ team, they beat the Mac team last year in that like lower bracket round 2, and that sort of what snuck them into that 4th place. And honestly, they kind of outplayed them. So yeah, they can step up in these big moments. They've proved it before. But first up, we should have a look at their opponents. The Aragosting Hazard. It's a bit of a mishmash. From what I can tell, there's a couple of local players, a couple of Polish players on this roster. We've got Triple and Matek each representing the local lot, and obviously Bevan, Yekeb, Davy, and KO filling out the rest of the roster. We've had, I guess it's Aragosting Hazard. I'm guessing it's a mashup between Aragosta and Bloking Hazard.
Yep.
And Triple and Davy both played for Aragosta, but I think the rest are all Bloking Hazard residents.
Yeah, I mean, this is like basically a LAN team, right? For the most part, like a lot of these players basically only show up to LANs these days. Beaver, I think the last time I think he might have played a season somewhat recently, just as like an off thing, but he basically only shows up to LANs nowadays, right? And then most of this team kind of just comes to LAN, which could mean maybe there's a bit of a LAN buff as well. Obviously, they seem to enjoy playing together, that so much so that they want to play offline. Realistically, as Demul already said, Joey should beat this team. I think if we see anything but Joey beating this team, it would be an upset. But I still think Aragosting Hazard, they have a chance to make an okay playoffs run. I would not be surprised if we see this team somehow get into the top 8 at the very least. I would not be surprised. They could manage that, depending on how the other teams play day to day and stuff like that. I think it's feasible at the very least. There's okay talent on this team. They have some probably synergy, like Davy, Triple, for instance. I think it's possible. It's not very likely, but you never know. Things happen at LAN.
Well, what are your thoughts on this team? Have you played against any of these guys, or have you got any strong opinions on them?
No, I didn't play against that many players. I played against Davy, but the rest, I think they hang out in Dave 1 usually. But it's actually a solid roster. I didn't know most of the names in this. I don't think they're gonna. I don't see them beating the Yak team. Would be a big upset. It would be an interesting upset actually.
I think looking at this Bloking Hazard team, I think this is one of the teams where the sort of that dashed line that we had on our groups, that I think they're one of the teams that is looking perhaps to try and just finish above that dashed line, because there was 8 teams that got invites. These are one of them. They didn't have to come through the qualifiers, I don't believe. So there's a couple of teams that they should be beating. in this group. I think there's they're probably one good result away from maybe sneaking in just above that line and getting into the upper bracket.
Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, like, nah, I don't think so.
Okay. So thinking about I'm not sure. I think obviously it's first round of the day. I'm not convinced that we're gonna have players ready to do like their pick bands or anything. But over on Joey GUNZ, obviously they've got a very well known play style at this point. If they're a team playing a team they know they're on paper better than, like, does that make it a little bit weird? Do you think things are gonna work like as well?
I think they're just gonna start trolling after some point. Like if they run away with it like 3 rounds within 10 minutes, they're just gonna start trolling. Varner's just gonna go engineer permanently. They're just gonna sit up. I mean, it depends on the map, obviously. I think if they're playing Koff, I can see Varner just switching to NG and just going NG on Koff because it's funny. And I think one of
did it in Prem on Bagel.
Yeah, one of the biggest principles I think that Joey GUNZ plays by is what would be the funniest thing we can do right now? What's the funniest thing? Oh, Varner, go NG. Oh, Varner, go Spy. Why not? Yak's gonna switch to Spy as well. Like it's that's the type of stuff that they do. That's how this team plays, I think, for the most part. The less seriously they take it, the more fun they have, and as a result, sometimes the better they do. And we're having some weird tunneling.
Yak looking at Yak. Oh no, that's Steam DMs on the screen. That one's, thank you production on that. Thank you production on that one. I think I think the quality wasn't quite there. We were a bit zoomed out on that one, but that's Yak over from Joey GUNZ there. I think it looks like they're getting ready. You know, they're all in their seats, which is always a nice thing to see at LAN. You know, there's no one's gone out for some zapiekanka or any other local Polish food in between their games. But like you said, certainly, right? Like I think they do the funniest thing possible in kind of every regard. The one that like really struck me was I was watching a game this season from Joey GUNZ, and Yak, of course, is known for going Spy occasionally into last. It's just his thing. He just does it every now and then. And he did 2 back-to-back Spy lives into Gully Wash last. Vanu decided he normally only gets to play 5 of the classes, and he decided to come up on demo with the Tide Turner to sack into last.
Interesting.
Yeah. The look of disapproval from Dabul's face is palpable.
Like I remember playing against them at some point. It was with Mandem. I worked with Mandem, and they were pushing the last. Like they were gonna win the last. Like they had good advantages. I think we fed some people. What they bring was an engineer. An engineer building a level 1 sentry on top left. I was baffled by that.
Well, it's not even like level 2 with Jag or something, you know?
No, just a level 1 coming in. I mean, this is funny though. This is really funny.
Yeah, no, they are like that. I don't know, because it's the thing as well. You can end up with in these situations when you start running crits, you start running like wild off classes. Like, there's a reason that 2 Scouts, 2 Soldiers demo medic is the most common thing, right? Because it's the best general setup for general situations. Like, you find in these situations, if you get stuck on crits, or you get stuck with a sniper or an NG or God knows what else they may have cooked up, and they can land in these extra awkward situations. I think it's definitely entertaining viewing, at least. I'll say that much.
Yeah, like off classes and shenanigans like crits are all timing. Like you need a good timing, and if that timing is gone, you need to get rid of it instantly. And yeah, usually the Yak team, they don't really care about this. Let's be honest, they just vibe with it. So,
Cindy, you think there might be a bit of silliness this game? You think they might sort of like start the spiral early, given that they're the favorite teams?
I mean, look, they're here to play TF2 their way, to have fun. It is a team that obviously strives in chaos, and I think it's going to be more interesting watching them do this against an actual like strong team that they're matched against in their group, right? Aragosting Hazard is a team that they should beat on all metrics, even if they didn't do any funny stuff. It's going to be interesting to see how better teams would adjust to that chaos, right? To the shenanigans that they might come up with. Because the reason why it sometimes works for Joey GUNZ when they do that stuff is because the other team just doesn't expect it. At this point, sure, they've been doing it for long enough that you kind of, I mean, you can probably corroborate this. If you're playing against them, you're kind of like expecting some kind of weird stuff to start happening at some point. Oh, they sacked 2 players. One of them is definitely coming up on some sort of off-class type of stuff. Oh, they're going to be crafting hats, huh? Interesting.
Exciting stuff. Oh, what's that? Oh, go on.
Come on, Alba. What are you gonna get? This is important. We need to know what he's gonna get out of this. What kind of hat is he getting? Damn, his Crown Cosmetics, he's got equipped and everything. I mean, it's something, I guess.
This is where I must confess, my knowledge of like TF2 cosmetics is actually terrible.
Oh, you know, mine
Like-
cuts off after like 2013.
Yeah,
I don't know any
like-
cosmetic that was added since then. I don't know any of them.
Yeah, no, I am absolutely clueless with this stuff. But we can see there, like you say, the team, they're all in their chairs. We saw a moment ago, we had a quick jump over to the Aragosting Hazard team, and unfortunately, I think there was an empty desk there, so there's somebody who was not ready. And we're panning through now, I believe. Oh, we're seeing a few of them. We're seeing, okay, return. That was the empty spot, I think.
Oh, there you go. So they might be
Okay,
getting
we're
ready
doing-
soon.
Are they trading between the teams or something? What's happening?
maybe they're playing a different game. You know, the type of TF2 that the pubbers play? Which is,
Trade survey, you know? They're on
yeah.
like Trade Plaza 2 or something.
I don't know what Yak's doing. He's just watching
What's it?
Twitch.
Oh, no.
He's getting ads or something. Is this our stream? What is
What
Yak?
on-
Can
what on
somebody
earth
talk?
is
Can
Yak?
somebody get the admins to talk to Yak and tell him that we're supposed to be playing the game right now? Like
Oh,
he's
yeah, we
supposed to
can-
get into a server and like fight.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, they're. Wait, that's bad? Is that not Badwater?
Are they gonna play Badwater? You think?
I think I thought I could have sworn I just saw like the upstairs, the platform at the back of house and Badwater on one of these screens. Oh, we've got the infinite camera in there.
Lovely.
Yeah, okay. So it seems like the teams are intent on messing about to more of an extent than you mentioned, Cerny. It seems like they are just going to sit and play on their computers. And
It's
not
LAN.
actually-
It's his LAN after all. Wouldn't be LAN if we didn't delay the first round for no apparent reason whatsoever. Even if the players are all ready. It's not like anybody's really missing at this point, right?
Yeah.
But
Well, we've got some time, right? Sorry, do we if we pull back up the groups again? And I'm gonna sort of ask you both on this like Group A, because this is a Group A match. I want from each of you your order predictions, top to bottom. Where do you think these teams are gonna come?
All right, so Group A, I think the no-brainer is putting Witness at the top. Then, yeah, Dolly Maggots and Jury Guns should be right behind. Like that's like, I'm not wrong, right? Like the one team on the bottom is the one going straight to the pro bracket.
No, the team at the bottom goes out. They go
Oh,
out.
goes
They're
out.
eliminated.
Okay, my
They're
bad.
eliminated.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so I need to call the top 4, right?
Yeah, top 4. Who's
Honestly, I don't see Fjord Gaming. I could see the Aragosting Hazard pulling them out. I might be underestimating them, but yeah, I don't see the Americans of this group going in the top 4. And then the Group B, I think it's already made. Like
You
the
think?
top 4 is already made, yeah.
To be fair, I think Group B might be in seeding order,
Yeah.
so that would
Oh,
make
is it the
sense.
seeding order? Yeah,
Yeah.
the Americans.
On Group B, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure. I'm not sure it's in Group
Yeah,
A.
the White Lotus above Mandem. Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Oh, fair
Yeah.
enough. Well, you are the resident Mandem fan of all the production power. So did you agree? Would you?
I think for the most part, yeah. I can see, depends on how Fjord Gaming show up. They could swap with Aragosta. It's gonna be a 50-50. But the Group B just looked like the way it's probably gonna look at the end of the day. I'll be honest. It's probably gonna look the exact same. And look at that. We have map bans finally coming in as well. So we know what map we're actually gonna be playing, which is gonna be Sunshine. So that's interesting. What are the ban choices? Let's see. So Joey banned Metalworks, Granary, and then Process. While Aragosta banned Product, Bagel, and Gully. Not wanting to play Cough against Joey, I don't think I can blame him for that.
That's true. They're scared of the Vanu Classic. That's what it is. Yeah. Do you think this makes sense, Demol? Do you like this pick ban?
I think it does. Yeah, like getting rid of the cough, and Gully Wash is a pretty good map for the Druid Gun, so makes sense. Sunshine is a classic. Anything could happen on this map.
Yeah, I find in these kind of games, at least in like these sort of round 1 best of 1 games, when there's like a full 7 map pool and you can pick ban off of everything, I feel like there's kind of a tendency to land on similar maps each round sometimes, because I don't know, there's like common middle ground maps that just everyone's kind of happy on, right? Or like at least 90% of teams are happy on. And
Process Sunshine.
yeah, exactly, right? Like, but here, like, you've clearly got a team that doesn't want to play Karth. You've clearly got a team that doesn't want to play like the sort of slower paced, older, more like technical maps, and yeah, they just want to go onto the classic pug maps. And if you're the better team, do you think that makes sense?
There's two schools about it. There's the school that you don't want to take risk. Oh, so there's the school that you don't want to take risk, right? And the risk are usually the cough maps, so you don't want to pick them. But I'm on the other side. I like cough maps. Cough maps are good. You need to play it. That's a good. This is actually a good practice map as well. So yeah, I'm all for the cough maps, but I can understand the other side of it, and banning cough maps and getting rid of the closer maps as well, like Gully Wash. Gully Wash is a close area map, and if you win mid on Gully Wash, you can literally roll on last usually. And Granary is a slow map. I think again, any maps are slow as well. Like Metal Rocks, I've seen the.
Oh,
I've seen
don't talk to me about the Prem playoffs.
We have to talk about it, man. Like Metal Rocks, we got rid of Snakewater for Metal Rocks. Like Metal Rocks is still here, even though Snakewater got rid. Nah.
I'm glad I'm joined on the couch with a fellow Metalworks hater, because I'm a Metalworks hater.
Nah, I think Metal Rocks is good, but the last is tough. I think any last on every maps are tough, but Metal Rocks has always been really hard.
The parachute as well, right? Like it just
the parachute as well. Yeah, like yeah. What can I say?
Just while we're talking about like enjoying Koth and such, we should clarify we've had some slight changes to what we normally play in Europe in terms of the config. So for the group stage, it's going to be regular 5CP. It's 30 minutes flat. Game ends. There's no golden cap. None of that messing about. We have to speed through the games, so it can end in a tie. King of the Hill, however, we're actually playing first to 4, which is what we normally see in like RGL and like the American lands. And I believe Australia also played it for a while as well. I think it was like on or off with those. But what are your thoughts on this, sir? Did you think do you like that Koth is now best of 4? Do you get more King of the Hill action?
I mean, for the most part, on average, Koth maps tend to be short, right? I mean, yes, sometimes games go to like a 2-3, and then there's a lot of stalemating, overtiming, and then the map can take a little long. But I think on average, the average Koth map is probably like 20 minutes usually. So it is shorter. So adding extra round in there, well, another 2 potentially, I guess, does make it a bit more interesting. Does make it a bit more of a longer endurance race, I guess, less of a sprint. Because I think this is something that an observation I made with the ETF2L playoffs. The reason why Mandem, I think, or another reason why they were struggling a little bit more is because they're kind of like a sprint team. Like a lot of the regular season matches, they kind of just won in 20 minutes and then they were done with it. But as soon as they had to go longer, had to have more stamina, have to have longer matches, they started struggling. And obviously DM abused that a lot on Metalworks, for instance, as well, which they picked as a joke in the finals, by the way, I was told. They picked it as a pure joke just because they were wanting to mess with Mandem. But, like, I feel like Mandem for instance, is an example of a team that is kind of like more short spurt, sprint focused and less on the endurance. And I think this config change, partially also the Koth change, might expose teams like that a little bit more to stuff like that. Where if you're a team that has better mental, sticks it out longer, has better stamina, might benefit from that more as well. Potentially.
Yeah, it's I'm not against it, especially because we should also be clear that when we go into the playoffs, we are going to be playing the progressive rule set, which is where the game doesn't end until there's a certain round. But even when the timer runs out, you've got to win one more. And it's the config been used in RGL and Norse Fortress for quite a while at this point. But it's been it's been newly introduced to ETF12. We saw a couple of games in playoffs. We saw that there's very interesting Metalworks games occurring on that, and but I guess it kind of matches, right? Because if you're going to bring up the length of the 5CP maps for the Koth maps to take a little while longer, it's also good fun. But I'm looking at the screens. We've got most people in, I believe. Is this I think this is the back of the heads of some of the Aragosting Hazard players, I believe, or Joey GUNZ players. Is it?
No, I think this is actually this must be Joey. Yeah, I think. Either way, like it looks like there's 12 people in the server already as well, so they must be getting ready any second now.
Surely we can get some predictions in at this point.
Yeah.
Give me a score as well.
A score. So obviously Joey's winning. Considering this is our normal European rule set, I don't have to think about anything else. Realistically, this should be over with score. So like Joey GUNZ is gonna get 5 rounds. Whether Aragosting managed to pick up a round potentially, maybe, if Joey start messing around a bit, maybe they pick up 3 rounds early and then start trolling. I'm seeing like a 5-1 maybe. Maybe at best, honestly. What about you, Demol?
4-0 for Joey GUNZ.
What was that, sorry?
4-0.
4-0.
Yeah,
You think it's going to go to time?
I think so. I think they're gonna struggle at some part of the map, like probably the last. Yeah, I can see it. I can see a full 30 minutes. And you were talking about DM. Sorry, DM picking the Metarox as a funny thing. I've heard about that. I don't think it's true. They always pick Metarox in the past season as well. I think it's one of their. I don't think it's their best map. I do think it's their comfort map.
Yeah, that's I can believe it. I can also believe kind of what Sony was saying earlier of you know, maybe they get a couple of rounds ahead and maybe start taking the game slightly less seriously. We've seen them do that before. I remember the Chubby Guns versus Alan's Workshop game online was quite a quite an interesting end with everyone off-classing and stopping around towards the end. But maybe on LAN they'll play a little bit more seriously. We're seeing 12 in server. I believe we actually have casters up and ready. So we've got 12 in server, 2 casters at the ready. Thank you very much, Demul and Cerny. We're going to throw over to our opening duo, Tomato and Turbo Tabs.
Dzień dobry, Jack Jimash, and welcome also from us standing here. You don't see it, you are still having the octural view behind those gamers. That took some time to go live here, Turbo, but I mean, we were sole bystanders so far, but again, to the crowd out there, welcome to poLANd.tf 2026. We are starting this round 1 with Sunshine, but as you hear the radio cast, I am not only here by myself, I have brought Turbo with me. We're back, boys.
Yeah, I don't have really fancy Polish words. Wagwan, welcome. It's glad to be here. It's glad to be at LAN. This is actually going to be kind of a burst out LAN for me. I've never really had a chance to commentate, but Ben did a wonderful job introing the stream for me. That boy filled about 45 minutes of content when these players were messing him about.
I mean, honestly, if you have the cam in those cabins, this is always what I'm rooting for. Also, the main faction I'm probably rooting for here is Aragosting Hazard. They had their players so fast, actually, in the server. Joey GUNZ took an age, I would say, also just a stark difference between team leaders. Matek, sort of the team leader for Aragosting Hazard, shows up with the suit, and Yak comes as if he was just spilled out of the next bar.
I think that's what I like about LAN. Not only do you see the gameplay that we're going to be obviously watching at some point, but you get to see these people in person. You get to see like what they're kind of like as a personality, and then it kind of matches up more with their TF2, and why you see like, for example, Vanu and company, and like whether or not they're a lot more free-flowing of a sort of personality. Thus, their TF2 seems to be very loosey-goosey and very, very chaotic.
And juicy.
And juicy.
Loosey-goosey and juicy. I want, before we get at another throat you with a punch. Also, you see here, we had a mild bit delay. So don't look at the screen. Don't look at the screen. Just look at the keyboard. See the mouse is moving, but we're getting there eventually in the game itself. But we have basically Division 1 versus a Premiership 100% as... Still, I think we have some delay and time to fill, but no, what I want to say, like Triple, Batic and KO, they've sort of been this Division 1 team that has basically been brought together. Also, is this a fake tactility?
I think we're just kind of delaying things a little bit. Obviously, this is round 1, so PC issues could be right here. There could be personal issues, of obviously.
Personal issues?
Well, who knows? Maybe you just realise, I can't do it. I can't face off against Aragosto, and then suddenly someone goes missing. But I think, who are we missing?
I thought you were meant to say Juno realized, oh, I have to play with Yak.
Yeah.
Stop the count.
Yeah, please no, not again. Mac, take me back.
Take me back. They were taking it back, by the way. I have one statistic. Last LAN, the Aragosting team, I asked Triple, they said they got absolutely flushed. They used some choice words that I can't repeat because we are not in that sort of post-watershed time. We're not quite there, but that was definitely a whitewash. We'll have to see. We heard a lot from the couch. We heard a lot of talk as well from Demul. Every word dripping with wisdom. But honestly, Turbo, if you are just energy drinking gamer right now warming up, what is going through your mind?
Well, the first thing I'm thinking is, are we starting? I think we're starting relatively soon.
Yes, indeed, and welcome once more to poLAND.tf 2026. Round 1, Joey GUNZ in the blue, Aragosting, Hazard in the red, and there we leap straight into LAN.
Yep, the first thing that's happening on mid, I see Alov going for the long kind of flank round.
Alov!
Let's see if it pays off, and it pays off wonderfully. He gets the kill onto the medic starting off this mid. So now there's only one objective on the mind of Joey GUNZ, is keep Alba alive.
Keep Alba alive now! White noise for Alba as he is absolutely munched before it was the ultimate knockout punch thrown at KO. Triple is still in behind. Do they know about Triple? 1v1 basically from the backlines. He's even looking at it. Can he miss the shot? He is not missing. He is hitting. Triple wins.
I don't know. There was a little bit of beef in that away side of Salad, but maybe Yak manages to pick things up off the floor for his team. But it's time for mid number 2, Domato.
It is. We are just rewinding it. Yak versus Jacob. Yak cap, you could even say, but finally, after a bit of a elongated mid fight, Yak and company capping it.
Yeah. So they do have even Ubers from both teams. Both teams did have their medics wiped out, so it's going to be an interesting second. They're going in dry, so bite the pillow as we're going to immediately stop blocking this soldier from trying to make the exit way. Doesn't quite get the air shot, however, but they're still going to make a go of it over on Joey GUNZ. And
one HP!
1 HP Warrior does get taken out, but he takes someone with him, but the rest of his team are falling down in line. You're seeing
but the counter jumps are at least.
It's just that little bit stronger than aggressors.
Is still trying to aggress. Alba leaves with the tail tucked in between his legs, and it is Aragosting Hazard coming back. Vanu still creeping around, lurking a little bit behind. He is back capping it, essentially just drawing players back ever so slightly, but triple K for that man.
Heard of face stabbing, that was face capping, thinking they could maybe just get away with a cheeky cap right in front of their eyes, but it won't work out. They make the aggression now. Yak is going to probably go down, and yep, he has gone down. That Demo Man is a huge kind of loss for any team, but the fact that Davey and Yak have gone down makes the Demo Man loss that little bit less bitter.
Full 100% Uber though for Alba as he's already bulldozing forward here. Juno basically 1v1 against KO. He cannot protect himself. The soldier is just leaping out of the sky, so Uber play and Uber push against the medic that is just absolutely nuked off this flank, and now Tirem comes close. It's a full-out deathmatch fight, but one team has 5 players alive, the other one only 2. Alba not going down.
It's changed from a shooting game to a horror game as they're trapped in the cafe, scared and terrified. The only thing they could really go for is maybe Alba and even things out in the war, but they will lose this war and battle.
The battle of attrition further on commences, though. That was quite scary. You already called it out. I'm not calling Alba the Blair Witch, but that project definitely did work. Sidestepping, not being mulched by soldier jumping in while he was only on 40 HP. But again, it has flip-flopped. Now Uber's basically even. However, Aragosting Hazard already holding down 3 minutes, but back on their own last.
This is the first round, however, and this is already a sign of life for Aragosting Hazard, as they're showing the fact that there is a bit of back and forth here. So both teams, they feel like maybe they have to lock in ever so slightly here. They can't give slip because I think both teams could win this.
Level 2 sentry gun already up. Vanu is prying this one from the left. Now it's a full 100% Uber. That feature against a 100% Uber. Yes, 2 stickies that you do need. Triple now has Uber popped onto him. Jacob, however, is cleaned up. Matic as well. So it's a 6 versus 4 situation. They have to trust in the Pyro. Triple comes close here with the shotgun, evening these out. But Juno still wreaking havoc, walking on the point. Only KO left alive with the head coming down. It comes crashing down. Final knockout punch. 1-0 to Joey GUNZ.
I'm telling you, if I have an Uber charge, I'm kind of expecting that I'm going to keep myself alive for the last point. I have invincibility on my side. How am I losing 2 players on my defense when I have the ability to make them invincible?
Are you role-playing against SKO?
Am I role-playing? Yeah, I'm dying.
Okay, let's see. Their mirth should not be dying as we enter the secondary midfight. Yak quite slow. Davey already is
scratching
there.
his head. Where is Yak? You're supposed to join the demo versus demo, sir, but I guess I'll settle for some scouts.
He does definitely do that. Now receives the ball, though. Triple has wonderfully Elf locked out, but it's Tiram. They had to focus on the secondary soldier. Jacob is trying to come in and clean Alba up in kind, in flowers. Only one player living, leaving. Jacob clipped Alma.
Yeah, we're seeing the trend here already. It's about the medic class, for at least for Joey GUNZ. They try and prioritize that pick, and it looks like a lot of sort of damage control for Aragosting, where the initial plan isn't working out, and then they have to just try and get the pick onto Albert to make sure that the game isn't a complete stomp.
Jacob wants to basically hide in behind, maybe even trap out Alba, wants to be the torrent time unleasher. Yek has only idle prattle, idle pipes flung forth toward the concrete area. Now Jacob can maybe unleash. No, they're aware of it. You can see all of them going to look at their backsides.
Yeah, then they did get a pick off of this distraction play from Jacob, so you might not see him directly doing something, but he is drawing eyes away from Joey GUNZ and what they should be doing.
I mean, what they are still should be doing is not losing mech tech here on the flank. That tech did not work out, but now Jacob onto Yak. Another huge or mild air shot, but that's enough. And Turbo, you know Alof, I know Alof, we already know what he's screaming. Air shot, air shot, air shot.
Yeah, but I'm saying mild, 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 just alongside you. But it's fine, it's okay, it does the job. They are down a Yak, but you know, that's normal for the days of Joey GUNZ. So this to make the push, despite having their demo man down. Juno needs to cover the stickies away for his medic to get into this fight, however. And Yak, well, they wasted so much time that Yak is actually back from the dead.
Juno is a prime example of trying to sort of gain ground, even if your demo man is down, slowly poking forward. You said it though, Alba taking around 60 to 70%, well, not percent at all, just damage, but ultimately backs out of it. And you know what? I mean, 1-0 and basically 6.5 minutes have withered by, but Alof is jumping and can he hit the air shot? No! It's a pencil surf! He hits it! He hits it ultimately KO with the pencil surf, but
that second rocket gave him a haircut, but it didn't give him anything else. But they did manage to find
it's triple coming in! It's the force play, by the way, from Jacob ultimately, and now only one soul triple left alive. B1 on 4 HP, taking on basically all of the overhealed players. That's brave.
Jacob is back behind again, but I'm kind of wondering at this point, you really need to be a bit more on the forefront. Jacob is going to have to come huge with this flank, otherwise he's going to turn into what looks like a 6v5 at last.
But they're at least sort of narrowing down the sleep, but Jacob is not
They
spotted it out! He's coming in! First rocket, second rocket!
Beef.
Well,
we're terrified! Oh no, the scouts found me! Not like this!
They're already on the last though. Alof is on the last, claiming a lot of cap time here for himself. Jacob comes in once more!
Gets the
it's
kill!
A double! And once you blink, you miss two players falling down. What was that play?
Alba's probably furious at his team. How does my my soldier get found out like this, my flanking soldier, and then he ends up still going down to said soldier?
Anyway, we are still trying to price something here when you're Aragosting. You have a headshot though to feature by Juno, and that is triple already falling down. You do have Uber disadvantage, but it is Sunshine last. You're probably safe to turtle, and only 3 minutes that need to tick down.
Welcome to the first off class of Joey GUNZ. It is a traditional sniper here. Juno is kind of a whiz on the sniper class, so this should be good.
Holy hell, that was a double soldier nuke, but the mobile mortars not able to apprehend the opposing team's red soldier. Juno, however, is creeping toward field progress. There are some stickies flung forward, but you see the kill feed flaring up. Sentry gun down.
Yeah, with the gun down, this is going to make things much more primed for a sort of bomb in. Keep in mind, Joey GUNZ style, they not only relying on the sniper, they're relying on each other. There's a lot of usual plays happening at all
Jacob
at the same
is still
time.
in!
How will get the pick onto Yak though, because Yak...
Oh, the headshot from Juno though! On KO!
Being bullied by a scout will go down now. They're feeling strong here. Vanu cleaning up on another soldier kill. There's only one soldier left, and he's not on the last point!
Is close, and that's a 2-0. We sort of missed it a little bit. It was obstructed by our POV, but a headshot from Juno onto KO. No heals in the fight anymore. But you gotta admit, a 2-0 lead for Joey GUNZ took them A, longer than expected, B, Juno sometimes a bit caught in no man's land, and most importantly, C, for how long was Jacob just behind the enemy team?
Yeah. When people talk about the LAN buff, there's also a LAN D buff here, Domato, which is noise levels. You don't really notice when there's people behind or when there's people actually like wiping out on their last point and all this. There's so much chaos.
Oh, Jacob is already almost air shot.
God.
It's Yak falling to Jacob, and that is definitely going to leverage their game quite significantly. You were talking about the pressure of voice and comms in the background. Juno has white noise delivered to him once more, but we definitely hear our crowd back there. Definitely thanks for the cheering, and also T-Ram is still trying to control something, but they're budging this off. It's a 1 minute advantage push.
Yep, so they're going in nice and slow. Their aim here is obviously just to keep KO alive and just blob up just a bit stronger. And because of the pob, they managed to pick off 2 easy kills on the flank. It's very disconnected from the rest of Sploken Hazard.
Only one single scout into them, but Yak is leaping in and one pipe. Can he find another? No KO. Waddle, 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 and you cannot touch me. Triple ultimately finishes off Yak, and suddenly a decent, well, man advantage still to maybe pressure into last.
Yeah, I told you, they have some heart here over on Aragosting Hazard. It's not going to be an easy game for Jerry Guns. I know they got the first 2 initial rounds, but they can definitely get this round here if they just clean a nice sort of pick to start off with.
Trying to force here the issue. Jacob already, though, taking so much hit scan damage to the face. Alof has him reamed out.
Seems a lot of the power. Oh, actually, Yak will go down, so that's annoying, but not, irreparable for Joey Guns. Yak is usually the first one to go down for his squad, so they're still making the push in. Alof goes for nice damage coming out from that poLANd.
See you in the frag movie, buddy. Davey absolutely ripped to pieces. Jacob, well, that was fantastic. Even better if there were any players there to shoot. But he ultimately Kratos dominated, not only by Vanu, but by the sentry gun of all things. Now it's an Uber pop, basically in the front line. It does fade here in the main area. Once the glimpse of immortality fades, you do have to regroup your players. Aragosting Hazard still in this.
Yep, despite having Ubers taken out of the equation for both teams, they're still pushing the issue here over on Joey Guns. Very unusual in a regular game of TF2.
Well, now it might tranquilize, though. The flanks are mildly pacified. No one able really to budge off anything. Intransigent enough, though, the Leveson sentry gun, the teleporter going down before.
Not the teleporter!
The teleporter was the friend of the sentry gun. What do we... Oh, Davy's down!
Yeah, they take a jump in. Davey, Demoman going down. That's also Alof going down as well. There's a lot of casualties on both sides, and thank goodness they have the sentry gun rebuilt from Vanu. Otherwise, they might think about making a scrappy push.
Yak had too many stickies, so he shot one additional one. Unfortunately, that meant the one that was placed directly in his face blew up, so he took like -40. You can just say the building levels do definitely improve. Just judging off that. We see, however, Jacob on Sniper, Alof checking in the spawn, and let's hear a bell. It rings for TRAM.
Yep, they teleport out Vanu back to the spawn, and Albert is in a kind of viable spot to be jumped on, but they're just giving so much respect to Joey Guns right now.
Decent air shot. We saw a lot of air shots already, and Yak is already plastering the right side with his pipes, since the left side is sticky by his own team. Davey, however, responds in kind. A decent pipe here with the Iron Bomber.
They could spam down the sentry gun now. Vanu's not there to repair it.
Maybe he is not there anymore. You said it well, but now Davey tries to walk forward here. No buildings in the fight, so you can simply budge off 10-second spawn wave though on Jacob and only 2 on Vanu.
So the fact that Jacob went down kind of dissuades them wanting to push in. I think this was an excellent opportunity. Not only did they take out the sentry gun, but they also took out Vanu, so it's not even a case of like they're building the sentry gun immediately back again, but he's back to the world of living now. The sentry gun's being rebuilt. They're going to have to make lightning strike twice here if they want to make this push in.
I'm still pondering on whether or not the teleporter was the little friend of the sentry gun. I'm not sure what the sentry gun, but definitely comes back with a vengeance. Also, we have a little bit of downtime here. If you have Frontier Justice and only 60 seconds to go, by the way, so once this ticks down, it is going to reset. Jacob is trying to pry this one open. Double. He is absolutely just torn into the sky. Well, it is a double frag, however, probably not feeling comfortable on pushing out. I pointed the finger where it hurts. 40 seconds only to go. One last Uber engagement into Aragosting Hazard.
Yeah, a lot of teams do like to make an Uber charge push in the last couple of seconds of the game, just because obviously when you start getting cap time on that point, it will extend that time over, and it's really the only realistic option if you want to get a cap presence.
The Uber has popped so early, KO went down to 50 HP, that was basically a force. Beaver is not on the field anymore, and only on the catwalk is now where TRAM is on 9 HP. No. Davey, however, is dealt with by Jaunu's shots here while he surfaced from the barrels, and it's a last-ditch attempt, not even, since the blue team is pushing out. Alof wants to get some more frags here for his necrology, but it ends here. 0 seconds, back to mid you go.
Yeah, it's annoying. There was opportunities definitely for Aragos, but there was always just something that went wrong, like a player would go down in exchange for another little pick play, or just they weren't lining up these rockets, or they weren't striking at the times that all the vulnerabilities that we could see at least on Joey Guns.
we can also watch our actual view, so that is the problem there in a POV sometimes, so that can be obstructed. You have to trust into the comms. However, Aragosting Hazard, definitely a much better show than maybe some players predicted against Joey GUNZ right here. Davey arrives now, and he has Yak to battle. That's nice.
So they've got the 2-no cushion, so really objectively all Joey GUNZ need to do is kind of cool the game. They don't really need to speed it up in any sense. They can run down the timer if they want to. The pressure is all on Aragosta right now to make stuff happen. So expect aggressive plays like Jacob going in and getting that starting pick.
It's always double soldiers prying this one open for Aragosting Hazard, and Hazard is still here for the opposing team. Stick to Joey GUNZ. Stick to Joey GUNZ. And T-Ram is still on the field. Yak as well. It was a double scout. Yak versus Davey. Only 10 HP. Can he live? Can he live?
I think they lost Alba during all that exchange. Look, he's down, and I think Yak must have been the one protecting him because he's going to follow.
And that now 100% is a very easy pathway. You can already trample forward. You see the soldiers taking space so subliminally, so sublime. And now the counter jumps come in here. Elof on 200 HP. This is the first rocket. A lot of cap time from B1 and from Triple. And finally, the lead is narrowed down. Aragosting Hazard punching back 2-1.
Man, that was like a celebratory Uber. It wasn't even needed. It was just there for the fireworks. But yeah, that is a kind of confidence booster for Aragosta Hazard. It shows that you can get rounds on the board, but can you get them in 14 minutes?
It's sort of cheating, you know. They use an Uber and they even got crits. Like, where can I learn those tricks? But it is anyway. Joey GUNZ now maybe a bit flustered, honestly. Not even that much of a lead that you can cope and predict. Or maybe we are just trolling right now. But Davey also arrives a bit earlier from the mid, and you see it was Yak entering from his own cafe.
Yep, so playing it cool and calm and collected this time. No huge flanks around from any opposing teams. I think because Jacob is on flank duty, making sure that he doesn't send any soldiers behind. But they're just rotating sides for now, so whoever loses on this mid loses hard.
It was so the nuke by Matek onto T-Ram, and he was T-Rammed into the ground. Juno now responding kind. The Scattergun still very lethal in hands, trying to shoot some bars toward the enemy team. Only 2 players left alive with 2 versus 4.
100% Uber though.
Davey is hiding though. They do not have Uber here on Elba, but KO.
Oh, KO left this boy behind, and now it's the saddest Uber you've ever seen in your life.
Or maybe Davey was too far forward. I mean, they could have definitely predicted it. Even KO coming out here of this fight is not a foregone conclusion. He ultimately is able to leave now. Juno, 1v1 here against P1. He's still alive, mind you. Finally.
I think that's what I call like a manual death, where he walked all the way himself. Like, basically, this medic would have been respawning at the same time as now.
They're fighting.
They managed to get those healed out a bit quicker and maybe allow them
Jacob's chasing as well. They're fighting. 1 rocket on Alba, but Alba serves it out.
Yes, very nice from Albert to say like he's just merking in medic for the squad and is going to keep their hopes alive for this game, as he has still got 100% Uber charge for his team to work with, and they should know that.
A decent amount of player advantage is still to, well, at least tranquilize the flanks. They do have an Uber disadvantage, which is definitely a hefty cost. They have to cede the space on the second.
Playing very scared over on both sides, really. Even when they have the 100% Uber charge, you usually see a lot of teams, well, gunning in over on blue.
Especially this team.
Yeah, but they don't dare do rush things this time. I think they were expecting that maybe Aragosta was just too far forward. So we're going to set up on last and see what we can fish out.
On Davey, and fishes that man straight out of the right side. So basically Matic down and no stickies on the point. That means Vanu comes close here. There's a pyro though. It was basically a forced play.
A single lick of flame has touched Vanu.
Yeah, the flamethrower maybe needs a buff, but now Yak is coming close here. No one ever said that, what I just said, but now it's probably a full collapse here as 3 players make that 4, make that 5 down into the respawn queue. 1 player was already there, 3-1.
Yeah, it's the classic. It's where you see people standing on your point and you're thinking, God, my team isn't really defending the point. They must need the Uber charge. So they pop the Uber charge just to body block the point, when really they just needed, well, bodies.
They needed much more bodies, and especially in sort of progressive forward situations. That's also an issue with the pyro, definitely. I mean, it helps you lock it out, but also he went down to 20 HP before the Uber was even popped onto him. That means, though, Aragosting Hazard did look good on this mid, especially with the double soldier bomb that is now nuked upon Yak here. Always very weak on HP. We have seen this happen before. Just receives a bolt from his medic, but still not out of harm's way yet. Enabled, though, to walk forward. A big pipe from Davey on Alba. No medic.
Yep, so they've absorbed Owlov as well, who's obviously going to go for the jump onto KO. They've even retreated into Cafe to keep all their players alive, and my god, is alive a generous word. Look how low they are over on the side of Aragosting Hazard.
You only need one single HP number to keep yourself alive. Not even saying this is philosophical, but you can regain your mirth, reheal, and come back stronger. And not only coming back stronger.
Oh, well, there's still a scout let loose. They they didn't do the full head count here.
Uber advantage still in the works, but you already called out a player that probably
maybe
throws a spanner in the
doesn't
works. Yeah.
find it. Well, I was kind of hoping that maybe that trap would have gone huge there, but they've just bled a lot of players during all this.
KO so weak, by the way, on 40 HP. So much damage, and are they aware of Vanu?
The medic,
He's rushing in from behind their lines, and that forces this. So many fighting forces, and you said it, not head counting before, and definitely losing track of all those dispersing players.
I can't believe Aragosting Hazard were the ones that won that mid and survived with so many players, but they've just fallen apart at the seams. They even had an Uber charge in their back pocket, and they've completely wiped here, Donato.
What a wonderful headshot as well, by the way, to top it off onto triple by Juno, guys. The goodbye greeting, down under you travel. I already came there to inflict a torrent time on you. Another one here to go and descend straight to Mount Kosciuszko. Elov, though, now already is leaping. Oh! Perpendicular
get out
dominance.
of my server!
You don't belong to be in the same server than me. We do know Elov. And another airshot, airshot, airshot.
Yep, it's a good showing of obviously this sort of David versus Goliath matchup, but maybe, just maybe, they might still be able to pull it off here. But they first need to deal with the Yakuba charge. He's going to get launched over. Thank you, Sentrygon. And he's now at Demo versus Demo. Oh, what a nice pipe coming out from Yak.
Is
Why
that
is he dancing
pinball?
in the sky? They even get the heavy weapons guy.
No.
They're feasting here over on Joey's.
It's all opening up. No, it's a scout still, and the sword
out. Slay the beast.
Ronan
He
cannot
cuts
slay the
us off
beast.
his
He
head.
comes
I'm not
close.
scared of you.
It's the sniper, the
He
ultimate
actually
knife form.
gets the cap.
So you see why sometimes the sword is supreme to the gun in hand. Unfortunately, Twitch crowd, you can't hear our crowd in the background absolutely loving that play, but I do second that statement. A lot of air shots and the katana in the end.
What on earth is that orange weapon, Yak? Oh no.
He always had
Get
double,
in.
he always had a
Get
double
the
sticky
clown
before.
shoes on. Get in the clown car. We're going to Clown Town.
And with the
Donato.
paint train as well, we're going to Clown Town. You said that he always has a double sticky, but this time he doesn't even take damage. He's so fast! Oh, so fast into the respawn queue.
Sad. Well, what can you do? But this is kind of a telegraphed attack. It means they're not playing with a demo man over on Joey Guns, but this
KO!
is business as usual.
Elov came in onto KO, but they still feature the man advantage here. 5 versus 3. Juno, though, hops out like a little bunny rabbit. Elov already up in the sky here, but no love shown for him. Not even a lovable beaver to clop him down.
Donato, that's the strats of the future. Now it's not about fighting mid, it's about fighting for the medic. They've realized that Joey Guns, they just want to get the medic and then just keep their medic pre-defended on second. What genius gameplay is.
Definitely. Can you say what CP means spelled out completely?
Control point.
Ah, okay. I thought control. Medic.
Oh no, but they
listen
controlled
you.
M, that medic. Very, very easy peasy for the Aragosting Hazard. This is the pick up and play they need to get back in this
definitely.
game.
They're still trampling forward here. So much bulldoze fire still unleashed.
They're entering the meat grinder.
Curtain fire unleashed, and those players, if Bivan can nail the jump with the winger.
Look at the clock. They've
that
still got
works.
time.
It's
There's still hope.
Tickety, tickety, ticking up, 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 up. As 3 seconds still on one player, but Juno's already up, so that might
What are they
definitely
waiting for?
prove a
They need
hurdle.
to go.
They need to go, but KO is waiting for his Uber, you can see.
Any second now.
And
Finally,
now,
hey, sniper,
That's-
thank you. But can we find these
The
other
heavy in
soldiers?
lobby as
Why
well.
is my heavy on the flank? That need to deal with these players that are defending the
Oh,
point.
no.
CP is like you were saying, and CP they will.
CP, they do definitely reign triumphant and supreme. Aragosting Hazard wins a 4-2 already in the banks. And let's see if once more Yak ends up on the sticky jumper.
Can you cook too hard in a game of Team Fortress 2, Domato? Well, Joey Guns are going to answer that question for us. There's one more round needed from Joey Guns to enter the Mercy rule, or we can make Demo look really smart here if we just keep it on that 4 number.
They are stirring the pot, but you see Yak is backing away from his master plan. Before he was on Sticky Jumper, now he's on the normal Sticky Bomb Launcher. Oh, boring as well. But already, Elof is claimed and presaging where the mid-fight is. Those soldiers from Aragosting Hazard always came out on top. The pipes flung forward. Vanu ends the fun. But Elba is traded out by Jacob.
Yep, it's the death corner sentence for Aragosting Hazard. They all enter the same space. There's a splash classes in this game. Domato, you can see the mathematical dilemma I'm trying to pose here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just a cascade of inflicted damage, exponential graph. Just picture everyone bunched up together with your friends. That's nice. You can all spawn at the same time until you get ripped once more at the same time. Tyram, however, is trying to cook something up again.
Ah, yes. I love Splinter Cell, so Tyram should be... Oh, no, he's been caught. Alert, alert. There's a spy in the base. Blue spy in the base.
Oh yeah, Tyram eventually caught out by a triple. He has already played other games, it seems, aside from Team Fortress 2. Jacob, though, is pummeling some aggressive rockets forward. Alba on the crit streak.
You could tell these soldiers play a lot of... oh yeah, you're right. They are fucking a crit streak in the wonderful year 2026. Well, rest in peace as they're going to throw it with Sticky. Where's the boom? I so see the boom. There's the boom, finally. But it's only on the lonely little soldier, but maybe that's the correct target. KO!
Bro!
Superman's out, but he's only...
Bro, KO! Come on,
really
Pokemon! Oh, no, KO!
Oh.
Bro, that was quite tough, honestly. If he stayed alive, definitely better. And Elba is still rocking the crits.
Okay, so back to square one for Aragosting Hazard. That means building of Uber over on Beaven and building of sentry guns for any of the classes that spawn.
It was Jacob ephemerally up on the spy class, checking for off classes, or maybe checking, hey, Alba's still on crits.
Yep, they're still rocking the crits here. I mean, I'm pretty sure, did Alba go down? I think he didn't. So I guess it should be incredibly telegraphed that this crits is coming. But Yak, double kill, easy, thank you.
Welcome to the meat grinder, but Yak responds in kind. Vanu is on the top right. Can they have a crits charge? Soiree, it comes flying in here, but KO's not even close. The engineer cannot be hit. It is
where are my crits? There we go. We actually relegated to the soldier class of all crits targets, and they can't quite find that medic, however. They're going to defend with two. A lot of cap time
double air
though.
shot! And that ends it. You can have crits eternally once you win that round, apparently. But those crits definitely were a mild bit obscured, but that was definitely something to work off. And also, yes, Turbotaps, you can come back into the limelight also.
Hi,
hello
stream.
once again. Hello from us. Okay, I can't top that off. What did you say to the stream?
I'm still bold.
Okay.
I'm just letting the team. This is the first time they've seen us. We were busy looking at all the Roman cans at the time. But yes, that was very entertaining. A very explosive start to our stream, if I do say so myself, Domato.
It was wonderful. I'm not going to oppose that notion, definitely. I mean, Aragosting Hazard coming strong with the soldiers all the time. Jacob hiding in the behind area. But you don't only need to listen to our voices. We will be back here for more casts. But let's hear it from the desk.
Really exciting game, to be quite honest. I know we were beforehand, we were maybe writing off the Aragosting Hazard a bit too much because they came in with some real fight, didn't they, Cerny?
I do agree. They caught me off guard a little bit with the fact that they actually put up a fight. Turns out Jakib is like the best player in the server, apparently. He's hitting some clips, let's say that. He was hitting clips, he was making a lot of plays. There's a lot of playmaking ability in general out of that Aragosting team. I was not expecting them to put up this much of a fight. Yeah, Davey still overextends most of the time. we were joking about it a little bit. It's kind of just what he does, but I did it better than I expected him to, for sure.
Yeah, I know we all obviously predicted Joey Guns to go through, and it was maybe a little bit wobbly, of course. They do have Alba coming in, standing in as medic, but like you just said, I think Aragosting Hazard, they really shone. And Demul, you said before the game, right? It's like players that you hadn't really been playing too much with, right? Was there anyone on that team that like really impressed you that game?
I guess Jacob. Yeah. KO had some good stuff as well, but he still got cash. So, nah, I think it was a really good game. A bit of a goofy game, not gonna lie. I do think Joey Guns didn't show up as much as the people would predict. Was a bit of a rough start. So we shall see. But they still won, so that's the important thing.
Yeah, there's one thing I want to say. Like, there was a lot of air shots that game. I've got to say, there was a lot of crazy stuff. And I want to say, you've obviously played on 5-ping a fair few times, right, on Soldier, right? Like, does it change what you go for?
Well, I've been playing on 5-ping as well online for that many years right now. But yeah, when I made the jump from like 50 ping to 5-ping at LAN, it's day and night. And you start to aim a bit carelessly. Like, yeah, you're getting wings. You're just flying. So it should be good, but it can be bad at some point as well.
And then on Joey GUNZ, I know obviously they still got the job done, Cerny, but do we have any concern for them going forward, perhaps, after this result?
I think they just take some time to get warmed up. I think this is the first match of the day, the first match of the LAN. They just took a bit to get warmed up, get into it. Obviously, they started throwing a little bit. That's what got Aragosting a second round, right? Yak running the sticky jumper to mid and stuff. But I think they're just going to take a little bit to get warmed up. As soon as they go up against an actual serious opponent, they're probably going to lock in more as well. We'll have to see, right? I still think they're not going to struggle too much going forward. They have a couple of hard matches up ahead, obviously. But for the most part, they're going to have an easy time at LAN, I think. And it's just a matter of warming up, really, I think that's the main part of it.
Yeah, speaking of hard matches, they're actually up next against Dirty Maggots. And that's going to be quite the spicy one, isn't it? But that's going to be on stream as well. So we're going to throw it to a really short break. We're going to clear up for a moment, give them all time to get set up for the next game, and we'll be back in just a few minutes for Joey GUNZ versus DM on this stream. So there you are.